girls are in serious trouble and need our help. And I don't see too many people from the men's self-improvement side of things discussing the need for feminine energy, because most of it is just male versus female propaganda about who ruined the dating market, men or women, or who's at fault for the downfall of society and all that stupid shit. So if you're coming to this video expecting me to point the fingers at women and dissolve guys from the responsibility and the roles that they play in the lack of feminine energy in today's society, then fuck off. So if you're a girl or guy, please listen closely to what I'm about to say, because I don't think there's enough dudes telling you guys to embrace your feminine energy. Now, before we continue on, hi, for those of you who are new to the channel, my name's Noah. I'm a guy who's on self-improvement, and I'm looking to recruit people to join me on the self-improvement journey and level up and boss up alongside me. And if that sounds good to you, feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications to be notified when I upload a new video. Now let's continue. Now in today's society, I'm noticing there's a very lackluster amount of feminine energy being embraced by girls. Part of why it's not super apparent as it used to be is because of things like modern feminism, and feminism telling girls to, be a girl boss, get your own money. I don't need a man for anything. I'm strong and I'm independent, and making girls adopt certain masculine characteristics, making them think they don't need a man. And rightfully so. In today's age, girls necessarily don't need men as much as they did back then. And as far as like taking care of themselves with their income, with their safety, because they just call the cops and stuff. But all in all, women got their own going on, so they don't necessarily need men. The problem arises when they go so deep down this feminism rabbit hole to the point to where they start to adopt masculine characteristics. Now, what do I mean by that? So things that a man would have, girls try to replicate or emulate things, but I think because it's a girl, they kind of like over exaggerate it a little bit. So things like being assertive, being dominant, being a little aggressive, because these are things you have to have in order to become a high income earner in a certain domain. And so because of that, you limit the pool of guys that you could obtain. And I'm not talking about like the stereotypical high value man. I'm just talking about like guys in general, because all in all, we don't like to date ourselves unless he's like a more feminine, docile, soft guy, which I highly doubt you would want. What you inadvertently did is become the man that you wanted. And I can't even blame the girls for this, because it's kind of tough in today's society where like you kind of have to be a certain type of way in order to, provide for yourself and do things for yourself and things of that nature, because, lack of a strong father figure in the house could play a part, or lack of a good, strong male role model. Something always has to do with lack of presence of the father in the house. So as a result of the father not being in the house as often, the girl has to kind of take on the mantle of becoming the man for herself and providing for herself and learning on her own, which kind of sucks. And whenever you bring up anything that correlates with being feminine or wanting to live, what's a popular term they use nowadays, a soft girl life, it's always shunned by all these delusional feminists or whores that tell you you're stupid if you ever claim that you want to live in your soft girl era. I think that's like a term the girls like to use nowadays. You want to be a housewife. It's always looked down upon. Nowadays, girls are telling other girls, oh, be a boss babe. Oh, you don't need a man for anything. You got your own money. And honestly, it sucks when I see so many lost girls trying to tell other girls who could have been potential good wives to a guy one day, believe in this stupid ass propaganda and lead with all your accolades to let the guy know how strong and independent you are, thinking that would make you sexier, which is complete bullshit. But I think girls are slowly starting to wake up to that, so I think that's good. I think because of this delusional, stupid feminism propaganda, women are finally starting to wake up, and they're starting to see that there's not much benefit in listening to this junk. Because what originally feminism used to stand for was equality and for women's rights. It was something that was more admirable and something that actually was needed. But nowadays, it's kind of like overcorrected itself, where they're trying to find any single way to complain about problems that don't really exist today, right? Basically playing victimhood and trying to gain power, if you will. And due to girls believing that for so long, it's robbed them of their feminine essence. Like, the lack of feminine energy is super apparent, because from what I've noticed in the West especially, is that if you just took away the whole feminism stuff out of the picture, although it does play a huge part, I think part of it is the weak men of society. There's a thing that the red pill usually likes to say. I don't agree with everything the red pill says, but there are a few things that, do hold true. And one of the things they like to say is that a woman is a reflection of her man's masculinity. So in this case, the women in the West are a reflection of the men's masculinity in this case. And what I mean by that is that because we live in a super docile, soft, comfortable society nowadays, where guys are more lazier than ever, like guys are more complacent, guys are more comfortable, obese, Like, they don't even try anymore. Right now, girls are out competing guys as we're speaking, so they technically don't need us. And because the guys are so weak now in the West, it's indirectly caused you to become the man you wanted. That only hurts your ability to attract the guys that you would actually want. To top things off, when you have like popular influences, like the celebrities, like the Kim Kardashians, the Sexy Reds, the Cardi B's, Meg Thee Stallions, all these girls pushing this narrative of like being sexually liberated and showing skin and being a boss babe, none of that shit actually works. And all the stuff that they're telling you, which is just straight up cope, but it's just because when we put people on such like a high social echelon, especially online with these influencers, like we worship them like they're gods, but those are people you don't even want to follow. Like half the shit they're telling you about, be a boss babe, be sexually liberated, show skin, show that you're sexy and all that, show that you're confident in yourself. Like on paper, all that shit sounds like empowering and good, right? But when you actually put it into practice, it never actually works. Look at their relationship catalog history. They're not in long-term committed, happy relationships. It's always something dysfunctional or some type of drama going on. But so many girls fall for this lie and this BS that's like, bro. And the need for feminine energy is needed now more than ever. And I'm so glad we have a few girls stepping out to showcase this. And a few of them I'm gonna actually mention is Candace Owens. I love Candace Owens. There's a YouTuber named Jasmine Theodora. There's also a few ones which I'm kind of like iffy about, but they do kind of like say a few good things. And that's the Wizard Liz, although she does come across a bit self-centered at times. And what's her name? Tam Kerr. She's another good one, but they come across a little too like a little assertive and loud. But I kind of get why they do it, just because it helps with retention and keeping your attention going and making girls feel more empowered. I get it. It's all part of business, but girls like that are the ones that are stepping out to encourage girls to step more into that feminine frame rather than the whole masculine feminism, macho woman type of propaganda that we got going on. And it's good that we're making some type of changes and some type of improvements in terms of like where we're headed as a society, because the more we see the rise of women like that speaking out about why it's not okay to act like the Cardi B's, the Meg Thee Stallions, it's good. Because I'm a guy and I can't really explain how to be feminine because I'm not a girl. I don't know how to explain. Like I can only tell you basic perspective of like what feminine energy is, and that's being more like soft, docile, being in touch with your emotions, intuition, being nurturing, and just traits like that. But I just can't really explain it to you. It's just something that's gonna have to be showcased from like another girl. Like I always noticed in the past, whenever I would talk to someone, I would always have to be like a girl's surrogate father. And what I mean by that is that like, because the father was so weak and docile and so feminine in the way he behaves, or hell, even if he wasn't there, the girl would have to adopt certain masculine characteristics that I would have to kind of rewire and make her embrace her feminine side. But honestly, it was kind of like an uphill battle to get her to show her feminine side more often. I know I'm talking in circles. This video is not structured at all, but this is just something that was on my mind. Feminine energy is just needed now more than ever, because although guys are weak, if we start to see a rise in more feminine girls around us, bro, the way feminine energy could really change a man is crazy. Feminine energy can make guys more ambitious, make guys more hungry for success, to provide for people. Because whenever I see a girl that's constantly working her butt off because there's no guy to provide for her, or she had to take on the mantle because her mother or somebody telling her to be a strong, independent babe, boss babe, it just never works out for her because it takes a mental toll on her when she becomes a guy for herself. And usually when I see that, I always feel weak to the point to where I'm like, damn, if only I had the power right now to, you know, provide for this girl. Like, no, and some of you guys that are immature might call it simpish, but like if you really have like a masculine essence to you and you really feel the need to provide and protect, and you'll feel that urge like, damn, you should not be working like this. Now, granted, some of them, like if you're a girl, you generally like working, okay, fair enough. But assuming you watch this far into the video, you're likely a girl that wants to radiate feminine energy unapologetically. So all in all, just please don't listen to half of these single girls with multiple cats and dogs telling you to be a boss babe, telling you to be strong and independent, and you don't need a man for anything, because at the end of the day, we both need each other. This is not men versus women, which gender is better than the other. Like, obviously, we have things that we're better at doing than the other person, but that doesn't mean that we're better than you guys overall, right? Both have our strengths and weaknesses. And honestly, guys, we gotta step up our game. We can't have this constant influx of girls having to do things on their own and adopt certain masculine characteristics, especially someone that could potentially be your future wife one day. You don't want to see her working in a job setting that she doesn't even like that, and have her boss, aka daddy, provide for her when you can't even do it yourself because you're so weak. Like, think about it this way. Your girl is going off to commute to someone else to pay her because you're so weak, you can't even do it for her. And like I said before, women are a reflection of today's men in society. So if we do not become strong, then this problem is just gonna only keep persisting. Now, there's this quote that heavily resonates with me, and you could take away from this too, bro. Or sis, if you're watching this far into the video. There's a quote called, "Hard times create strong men, good times creates weak men." I think that's the quote, but we need more strong men in society, and I'm attempting to become that strong man. I'm hoping the guys that follow me are attempting to become that strong men that could provide for someone one day that his girl or future kids need one day. So please embrace your feminine qualities, embrace your feminine energy. Don't listen to whatever or any single girl you see at the club being a fucking degenerate telling you to be an undesirable girl. Embrace being a soft girl. There's nothing wrong with being feminine. There's nothing wrong with having these traits. Being all rowdy, being all loud, being all assertive, that shit's not cute. Showing your body off on the internet for guys to see and marketing your sexuality in that manner, that's not feminine at all. Majority of these like popular influencers and musicians nowadays who make trash ass music that are telling you to be a boss babe, look at them, look at their relationships. And if you don't listen to me and take this advice from me, because again, I'm a guy, so I can't really explain feminine energy to you. I could only just being around girls, I can just tell what it is. I just can't articulate it, right? Just embrace your feminine energy. Feminine energy is needed. You're needed. So please listen to what I'm saying and start to embrace it even more. And guys, we gotta get our shit together and level up. I'll say things are looking brighter. I still have hope that things will turn out better. This video is not structured, so I highly doubt this will like perform good, but I don't really give a shit. I just want to get this message out to the girls. Please embrace your feminine energy. And that brings me to the end of this video. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, since it does help this video get pushed down to the algorithm for someone who needs to hear or see this. I'm gonna see you guys. Peace.